Good evening and welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT and I'm bringing you the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship, and it is a 10-round series over the next 11 weeks, and then opening round sees us at Oschersleben, and with the drivers pretty keen to be able to get their hands on some fantastic prizes. It's going to be an exciting start to the series. Our session details for round one: we've got 10 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, a 40-minute race. Weather conditions are overcast and time of day is noon. The cars are capped to 47% fuel, as that means they will need to have to stop to be able to finish out the race, perhaps 2 times depending on some tracks. And then we did just wrap up the Pagnian Advanced Simulation GT3 Championship, and Daniel Benefield was our series winner. And on the podium for the series, it was in P2 was Simon Mazzomo and Caleb Dawson in P3. And wrapping up that series, we had the final round at Road America, and it was a clean sweep to wrap up the series win for Daniel Benefield. So a big congratulations for the series win. And our winner of this series will be able to get themselves a Next Level Racing HF8 haptic gaming pad, courtesy of our partners at Next Level Racing. So the drivers will be able to up their game on their sim rigs by being able to have all the extra feel coming through from the road, which will be sent through into all the vibrating sensors throughout the pad. That way you can get that extra response, and it also works in a manner of other game capacities as well, for shooters or even movies and the likes, and as the flight sims as we see. So a big thank you to our partners at Next Level Racing for putting this fantastic prize up. It's a great one to be able to win, and then not only is it just this prize, we also have some lucky draw prizes courtesy of Next Level Racing as well. So they'll be able to get themselves a Next Level Racing freestanding keyboard and monitor stand, as well as a Next Level Racing mat to be able to have their rigs under. So that they're going up as lucky draw prizes to 2 different winners on top of that. So we'll jump over and check out the track. So we have 3.61 kilometers at Oschersleben. Current temperature on track is 31 degrees, well, not on track as such. Actually, its ambient is 31, but track temperature is 23 degrees over onto the right there, and cloudy at the moment. So jump over and see how they're going, and we do have co-commentator joining us tonight is Ryan Carlson, so thanks for joining us again.
Thank you very much for having me. I thought I'd come back in the booth after absolutely dominating the last championship I raced in. I thought these cars are a bit harder to drive, so I won't win it quite as easily.
Our drivers get out on track using what's left of the practice session. So there's 2.5 minutes remaining before they go over into qualifying. And Hazy, thanks for jumping on the stream, cheering on the team members.
I've got my work cut out for me today. There's a lot of unfamiliar names in this.
Yeah, a lot of debut drivers. And so you get the cars down through. Who are we doing it with? Registrations going through for this series. It's just open to anyone who's a member of our league. Just to be able to freely jump in as the session kicks up.
I was going to say it looks like it might be a little bit easier to qualify, but this field still looks like it's basically full grid, so I don't think that comment's going to be true at all.
No, it'll be... should expect to just about full grid.
What a cool looking tribute liveries around the place. I see a HRT 2004 livery in the back, and there's a Walkinshaw tribute livery on one of the Mustangs there. That looks really cool. Yeah,
you can see that. Oh, looks like an old Scafie Commodore getting around.
The golden era of V8 supercars. Coming from someone who was born in that year.
A big welcome to all our debut Apex members tonight. Usually may only have a small handful, but there's a good chunk of them.
G'day, Hazy. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you doing? What sort of time do you reckon we can expect? 1:25.1's the quickest in practice so far by Blake Warboys. Followed by 25.5 by Tim Mulford.
And we do have an international driver, so most of our drivers usually each week on track, Australia and New Zealand. We have had some internationals join on a regular basis. We do have Stephen Koenig, he was saying South African.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool.
Because they don't have too much over that way in being able to do the supercars. So
yeah, right.
Coming across to join us. So welcome aboard, Stephen.
Just before practice ended, I noticed Ricky Bunt, I think, having a quick spin. Making sure the rear tyres are ready for his burnout when he wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, get them all nice and slicked up for that and chew them tyres.
I actually jumped in one of these cars yesterday for the first time in ages, just to cut laps of Sandown, because I went, oh, the Sandown 500's on, I might as well, while I'm waiting for it to start, I might as well cut some laps to just feel cool. Jeez, the tyres drop off pretty quick.
Few drivers missing out on the pit exit.
Something tells me there's going to be a bit of a challenge come race time.
Yeah, and it is a pretty interesting pit exit too, where they come out on track. There's, in the history of being on Oschersleben, a fair few incidents occurring in those corners at the pit exit. So you come through relatively quick on a blind corner to have a slow car entering out.
Sounds a bit like the result that you get at Gold Coast when people were exiting the pits.
Yeah. There's a fair few tracks that love to throw those into the mix. And we do have our defending Supercars champion coming back. So Tim Mulford taking the win for the last Supercars series we had. That was 2 seasons ago. And scoring the first trophy.
Was he with us in the GT3 season, sorry?
No, so back for the Supercars again.
Ah, cool. It's fair, a lot of Supercars drivers don't like GT cars because they're full of traction control and ABS, they don't like that kind of thing. We've got a heap of people starting to go on for their first laps now. We got a big train of cars trying to stay in the draft and keep a bit of light hair on them so they get really quick in a straight line, but they might find that'll affect them when it comes to a corner as well, so it's just a bit of which one's the lesser evil at the moment.
Easy putting in some picks for race win. We'll jump on board for a hot lap with one of the drivers soon as well. Try and get everyone familiar with all the drivers' liveries out there. Cloud of smoke going on. I think that was from Marty Hughes' car.
I missed it. .26.0's first fly from Ricky Hyde, followed by Harry Dodds with the 26.6, Matthew Roberto with the 27.7, and Michael Nancaro. Nancaro maybe? Sorry if I get your names wrong. with a 1:30.6. Blake Urquhart's just gone 1:27.6. Ricky Bunch jumped up in there with a 1:27.2. A couple more names going down on the board down the pack.
Fair few getting their times in now. It's about a third of the field getting in a time.
Robbie Bradbury with a 1:25.8. Quickest time so far. As I say that, Stephen Bates goes
Stephen Bates sneaks
1:25.4.
in. Nearly half a second quicker over his teammate. And then parks the car up after that lap. She must have been on for a light load. And so you're familiar with the track, Ryan, to be able to call a lap for us?
Oh, I can certainly improvise. I wouldn't quite sound familiar. The only time I've driven it once, I'll say that. I've driven it once. Probably 12 months ago in a Super Formula Light car. I absolutely hated it. It's the worst experience of my life, I think, and I've had a lot of experiences.
Now, we'll send you around with Jimmy Peacock. He's on approach for a lap.
Peacock, let me find his name. Have you got his number?
Yeah, number 33. Just coming down into turn 1.
Very much.
And turn 2 with the pit exit. Holding a tight line there will avoid that.
Oh, sliding over the curb. A bit of opposite light, might have slowed him down a little bit. Braking just at the start of that curb by the looks, turning it in, keeping it tight on the red and white, and then following it out as it turns to white. He didn't quite go all the way over the green. He went to the red and white curbing, so it must be a bit slippery on the green. He's slightly understeering as he goes through this section. Not slightly, very much understeering. He looks like he's really struggling to get that turned in, as is the nature of Oschersleben. I remember it well. Straightens it up, brakes just up, underneath the bridge there, tries to trail it through, get on the throttle without sliding too much, but it looks almost impossible going through that section of track. Coming up, looking for where he's braking. He broke at that final brake marker before the blue billboard. I didn't see what the sponsor name was on that. Gassing it up, getting a heap of opposite lock on the exit of that corner, turning it in. He might have overheated his rears a little bit because he looks like he's struggling for rear grip. Driver's getting it turned in late apex, but follows the red and white curbing right out over the green. And that looks like a lap of Oschersleben as he goes back towards the right-hand side.
It's like that time, a 1:28.17. His qualifying time so far, a 27.71. And that rear, still a little bit slippery for him.
Did look like he was struggling quite a lot on that run, so I wonder how many laps he's actually done. He's done 4 laps on these tyres, so in qualifying pace they'd be getting pretty hot and
yeah,
toasted
they would be
by
cooked.
now.
Blake Warboys with pole position, more than half a second quicker than Anthony Visma.
24.7. Definitely the quickest time we've seen all night so far.
Very quick pace out there now. And Gallen, thanks for jumping on the stream.
Triple 8 entry I just noticed went bowling it pretty wide. That was the entry of 10. He's coming in the pits anyway.
Looks like we only got about 6 or 7 drivers not yet getting in a time. Codif getting in. time on that lap. That places into 25th. Of hopefully I'm getting your name right there, Greg. Last with a time on the board. He puts in position 27. We do have Bentan, Stephen Luckhurst, Marty Hughes, Sebastian Vardell, Mark Cochran and Blake Fitz to yet get a time on the board.
I hope people don't get offended by this, but I'd much rather initialise someone than get their name really wrong, so I think I might just call them GL. And any other name that I don't know how to pronounce, I might just call them by their initials, like all the Americans in NASCAR with Shane Van Gisbergen when he first went over there.
Yeah, straight up SVG.
Yeah. I'd hate to call someone a hamburger by accident.
Kelly's ran in. I don't think he is registered for it.
Number
Can't see
84
his name in the
John
list.
Bay, going for a bit of a drift. Going rallycross mode afterwards.
Blake Urquhart. Fair bit of rear slip under brakes. And a few more times coming in now. Mark Cochran getting one on the board. P22. Thanks for the follow, Native Aussie. Much appreciated.
As much as I was saying, there's a lot of unfamiliar names in this grid. The top 10 definitely look familiar, so I don't think I'll get many of them wrong by the looks of it.
No, yeah, all regular drivers for us. Highest newest member, Michael Schroeder. That is matching team liveries with Mick Clifton, so teammate with Mick, and he's tucking in the draft of teammate Clifton there at the moment. Qualifying in P12.
A little bit of sneaky tactics to these boys.
Qualifying now complete. Clifton wrapping up last lap. The two working together there. Sebastian Vardell still out on track, not yet getting a time on the board. And this will be 5th time around as well. Struggling to be able to either get in a clean lap should be a time on the board. No time on the board for Sebastian Vardell. Put him in into P29.
I was really confused for a minute. I kept hearing talking, and I know it wasn't from you, and it wasn't from me, because I can normally hear me talk. And I kept taking my headphones off, because I'm house sitting at my auntie's place, so forgive me if you hear any background noise. I've got the dog in the house, he likes to carry on a little bit.
No worries.
But I thought there was someone speaking around me. I went, I'm alone in this house. Why am I hearing someone speaking? Then I realised it was the PA system in the actual track.
Ah, yes. It would be. Alright, we'll look at these qualifying results for round 1. The Blake Warboys holding pole position, followed by the rest of the grid being Anthony Visma, Stephen Banks, Tim Mulford, Ricky Hyde, Harry Dodds, Mick Clifton, Robbie Bradbury, Andrew Rushworth, Jason Schooler, Ryan Bunt, Michael Schroeder, Cooper Cotterill, Blake Urquhart, Jamie Tung, Nicholas Martin, Jimmy Peacock, Matthew Roberto. And save calling out all 33 drivers. We'll just cast down through the line and seeing last of our drivers from P29 through to P33 not being able to get that time in, so unlucky for them.
I do like Jimmy Peacock's team name, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to say it on stream.
Pretty much all our drivers out ready and gridded. Yeah, it's a
Got some people ready to go, flashing
nice
headlights for
view.
the guys in front
One
already.
driver left to grid. That's Blake Fitz. There he is. All drivers grid. Lights about to go green.
I smell carnage, yes, I definitely do, Galen. I definitely do. As we hear the revs rise and the V8's ready to rumble. The flames spitting and we're underway. Oh, a shocking start for Visma. We're going full wide back and we're getting ready for the carnage. Jeez. Lots of cars. Heaps more. Oh! Who's that turn around?
Robbie Bradbury's out of spin. Can't even catch. That's Bradbury and Piccoli being tangled up there. Oh, it looks like Schroeder as well.
And 351 car.
Oh, it's Anthony Visma's car.
Mick Clifton. Touch wood, it doesn't seem like too bad of a start though.
Tell you what.
I don't want to
for Bradbury. Big drop.
Oh yeah, that was quite shocking, wasn't it?
It's going to be hurting. Oh, Warboy is managing to pull away. Only 1.5 second gap over Ricky Hyde in P2. Cochran's just had a crash on the inside line. Schooler and Schroeder, it was side by side. Schroeder's just ahead to be able to take the corner. And a battle going on between Rushworth and Bunt.
A lot of battles going up and down the field. No, Karina hasn't gone away from Mick Clifton yet all race. He's been going side by side with a lot of guys trying to make spots up.
Oh, Banks just saves the car. Looked like he was going to go for a move, and I think there was a little bit of a brake lock-up.
Yeah, it looked like he might have touched a wheel on the grass there as well as he was in the braking zone, so that definitely wouldn't have helped his cause. Trying to get a little bit more grip than what he could out of track limits. Not grip, turn in, that's what I meant to say.
Right, mistake allowing for Mulford to be able to have a bit of breathing space now. He's definitely got eyes set on Ricky Hyde to close in here.
You don't know how to tell if it's an exciting race. Our streams are never the same. Every time you're talking about a battle, another one goes up in my screen. Right now I'm watching Andrew Rushworth and his big group of people. Oh no, it's just gone onto your screen too by the looks of it.
Yeah, and it looks like there's damage to the car. Yeah, the front left. The panel's buckled in around the wheel for Rushworth. Not sure if that was early on with the incident, or if there was a mistake as our school has slipped in between Bunt and Rushworth.
Just leaving him enough space there. Who was that? It's not liking showing me names, this thing at the moment.
Oh, contact between Vondel, one of the PR cars, And he was 19 positions up at that point.
That was heavy.
Oh, Bradbury's getting loose. Not sure if there was some contact. One of the cars there.
Ooh. Oh, I missed who that was. It was the Walkinshaw car.
I think there was some contact.
Pottery.
Schooler going for the move against Bunt. Bunt held ground, forcing Schooler to have to yield for the following chain corner. Oh, loses it. I think there was a little bit of pressure on Bunt, causing some rear slip. So there was a little bit of rear contact. Well, and Urquhart's going to have to play cautious here. That was quite a big blink from Bunt, with Urquhart trying to position for a move here.
That would be scary.
And a phenomenal lead from Blake Warboys. Nearly 5 seconds on the board now.
And he looks like he's actually 2/3 of the way in front of last place at the moment.
Open setups for our miner.
I've only just noticed Power Miner's comment, good to see a few more colourful liveries compared to the GT3s. He mustn't have seen my livery. Best looking one in the field, that one.
Oh, there's a slip in the background there for Rushworth.
Just looking at gaps here, Blake Warboys has already put 23 seconds just about him, top 10. Not the top 10, on 10th place.
That's a huge gap.
It is, he's managing his race well. I was about to say maybe he's pushing too much and he might be on to burn his tyres off, but I've seen him in this league a few times, so he definitely knows how these things end. Surely he's got a bit of a handle on time management for that. He's doing very well though, I can tell you that much for free.
Fight between Blake Fitz and Jamie Tung.
Being very respectful, leaving heaps of room on the exit there. Very well done for those boys.
And tucking back in as well. Cotter will be able to close in on these two and join in. If Marty Hughes is able to stay in good form here and take the draft for the free cars ahead, we'll be able to quickly sling in and have a shot at a few positions there. Ron Wade is having an off. Coley moves up a position.
Blake Fitz was just pulling over. I wonder if he had a slowdown. He was just on the brakes on the straight there. Losing heap of position. He's gone at track again. Letting Cooper Crottrell go past.
The track limits at Oschersleben pretty strict, and it throws a slowdown at you pretty quickly, and they're rather excessive as well.
There's one thing I hate.
Urquhart just loses the spot to Dodds. It's a slip with a wide line around the hairpin. The Banks has moved up into P3, having got around Tim Mulford. So that's allowed a bit of a gap for Ricky Hyde.
I think with VO Supercars, there's always a very big possibility of post-race time predictions. The thing with V8s, a lot of people driving just because of how cool they are. But don't get me wrong, that's the sole reason I drive them. I'm not any good, by all means. I can pedal them a little bit, but I'm firmly mid-pack. Or the end of the pack.
Oh, incident for Bunt. He saves the car.
But yeah, sorry, back to my point anyway. They've got very skinny tyres and they've got no ABS traction control as I look at a lock-up for, was that?
Bunt was just having dramas and I think some wall contact along pit straight. Saved the car to be able to keep going, but struggling at that point. There's a lot of battle scars on the cars around though.
Is it Sebastian Vardell in the yellow Holden?
Yellow one's Nicholas Martin. So
My
Vardell trying to gain some ground here.
Nick Martin looks like he's struggling to keep it. He's lost 2 spots already. And he looks like he's about to get swamped by the rest of this pack coming through. Vardell looking very racy. Going very, very wide in the 8th.
He's got a good run here.
About as wide as you can manage. He takes a dive. Does it? Oh, I was about to say nice.
A lot of understeer.
Him, but he's sliding.
Yeah, there was a lot of extra speed to be able to take off. And he held it. And right on the tail of Mick Clifton now. Flash of the lights from the car ahead. Yeah, that's Urquhart.
As Vardell just going a little bit wide there. I wonder if that was intentional to try and get a run through the next corner, or
for an outside move. Ooh, I'm going to look out for some traffic. That was scary,
wasn't it?
He's got the nosing around Clifton. Oh, a little bit of door bank.
Keeping it side by side does the move nice today, but does he get the switch back on him? He doesn't. Vardell
He's
holds
also
him there. Looks like he's trying to go for a move
gonna flow onto Urquhart.
These guys used to be teammates, Vardell and Urquhart. Oh, slide on the exit.
Slip. Finding that painted surface a little tad slippery.
Looks like he's got a little bit of front corner damage as well, Vardell. I think you may have commented on that earlier.
Yeah, I think numerous seem to be having some panel damage.
But a NASCAR style of racing going on tonight as Vardell goes for a dive on a Urquhart and pulls it off.
Yeah, gained some good ground over that lap. Urquhart flashing the lights again. This time, I think, directed at Vardell.
Oops, right in under the rear wing there too, so he looked like he was very opportunistic. Oh, sliding through the mid corner. Looks like everyone's been very unkind to their rear tyres this race. They're all starting to struggle. I'm seeing a lot of sliding from different cars throughout the day. Quick update on the leader. The gap to Ricky Hyde in second place from Blake Warboys, is 8.8 seconds now.
And they should be pretty close to their pit window. So if they want to burn up some tyres, they should be able to start looking at doing that.
Unless they're trying to make it as far as they can in on their fuel stop to give them the best tyres at the end. Although a lot of these guys who are in a battle at the moment could probably benefit from an undercut if they can get the pit exit right. Banks pulling in hard. I haven't noticed that, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. Thanks for letting us know, Gallon. Oh, who's that? Number 6.
He's been...
Anthony Bismarck going pretty wide, sorry. Bit of a tongue tied there. Everyone going really wide.
And a really fair bit of body roll coming out of the corner through there as well. It's caught off a fair few drivers. Anyway, we're seeing some pits come in now.
Eckhart may have made a pretty big mistake because he's dropped down a heap of spots from when he was just battling Sebby Vandel.
Yeah, has quite a drop.
Is Stephen Banks doing the same pace as the leader at the moment? It looks like a lap or two's gone past since when I last looked, and he's only
His
dropped
last
2
lap
tenths in the
of
lead.
26.59 to Warboys. Just done then a 26.13, but it was a 25 the previous lap.
Yeah, righto. Ricky Hyde looks like he's struggling. The gap's fallen down probably a second a lap there. So
fastest lap of the race was, I think, just the fastest lap just done. That previous lap was Sebastian Vandel, 25.89. But the fastest for the race so far, a 24.85 by Warboys, which is why there's 9.5 second gap to P2. And also as to why Vandel currently up 22 spots, with him struggling to get a qualifying time in.
That's pretty mega. Like Warboys in the pit. Looks like there's I want to say there's a lot of people in the pits, but I could be wrong. I'm just seeing a lot of weird things happening with my overlay. Could even be wrong with Warboys being in the pits, but it looks like he's done an 8.2 second stop if my overlay's right.
And Nick Martin going for the undercut.
I don't think my overlay's right.
Gallon.
It's doing very weird things.
Gallon saying he wish he could have come play. It'd be good to see out on track.
Said I'm single now. I like it. Good to see you got your priorities straight.
Yeah, just schedule an argument, Gal, just before the race, and then you got a good couple of hours.
Tell him about Supercars is more important than you are. Sorry, lovely.
Matthew Roberto and Jeff Arnold closing in tightly. He's move up a spot with Clifton in the pits at the moment. Cotterill in the pits. I think the earliest we saw was pitting around lap 8.
Apologise for my call earlier, everyone. Blake Warboys has not, in fact, pitted. By the looks of these things, by the looks of this, my overlay is just playing games with me.
He hasn't pit, no. So it looks like first of the current drivers up the front, within the top 10, Harry Dodds pitting in lap 14. From P9, Urquhart also following in. Close little battle.
Sorry,
Starting
just
the
seeing
form
it
here for
there.
P26 to P28.
It's a pretty dangerous line for Ricky
Thanks
Bunt
for
there.
the
And looks like he's pretty
follow,
like he's
Stubbs.
struggling. Yeah, you tell him, Gallon. Telling Blake Urquhart to fix his SDK for those who didn't see that in stream chat.
Probably Bradbury just coming out of the pits.
Are you making a debut in bets, JT?
I will be, yeah, but not for a few weeks. So I am 40 during the series. So I've got to wait, miss the first few.
Ah, well, that's cool as.
And it will be good. Be out on track with a lot of people again.
Could have joined East Coast V8s. I think they were struggling to get numbers up. They're the same mob that run V8 bets, and I was seeing announcements saying we want more people. If they could get 3 more people today, then they put the season on. Otherwise, they'd have to postpone it.
Ah.
They did end up getting them because I've been seeing announcements. They were very angry in prior races in the last season because there were often 6 people showing up to race, and they were like, "We pay race control to do this, and yada yada," and it's just a waste of our time for 6 people. So they started being a little bit nicer with their tone after that, trying to get more people to join in for them, and it seems to have done all right so far. They've gotten their 3 to sign on, but yeah, they definitely need numbers, and there's no age restriction on it as far as I know. I mean, I joined it and I'm 19. They've had some pretty big cameos through there too, actually. I think Shane Van Gisbergen and Brody Kostecki have joined in for a race at separate times, so bit of a shout out if you want a cool race with famous people every now and again, join East Coast V8 series.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've had a famous driver jump in our sessions as well. It is always exciting when they make the rounds.
Have you had a famous driver in one of these sessions, have you?
Yeah, I did podium interviews with Chaz Mostert and Cooper Murray
no
one night.
kidding.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. They're still members, so they can always come back. We had Brody. I can't even remember. Current Triple 8 driver, Brock Feeney.
Oh, that's cool as.
And we had Chaz come in and clean up in the Formula V's, I think it was.
Ah, yeah, right. I bet he wish he could have done that good a job on this prior weekend at the Sandown 500 too. Did not have a very good time at all. Did you watch the 500?
I didn't, unfortunately, no.
Didn't. It was pretty full on. I mean, there was a lot of following. There was a game of follow the leader, as you've probably seen with a lot of supercars recently, because the tyres are just that soft that they overheat after 3 laps following each other.
There's incident in the pits.
Oh. Is actually in pit lane or like pit exit? Oh, no, in pit lane.
Yeah, pit lane.
Well, that's less than ideal, isn't it? Maybe we need to modify the regulations for unsafe pit releases.
What happened here for Ricky? I don't even know what's happening. On the replay now. So it's the race leaders coming. Is that contact between the 2 cars? He turned across. Yeah, he turned across and made contact with the car in the pits, so the car wasn't ghosted.
Now, you often get that in the fast lane where the car's not ghosted. Like, I've been caught out quite a few times being in the fast lane and someone comes out and punts me around. But it's when they go into the concrete section there where their pit boxes are, they sort of become ghosted.
Yeah.
That means you don't have to double stack, but
I would have thought at that position there should be fine.
Yeah, you would have thought so.
Looked like the car behind was ghosted, so but Warboy's coming into the pits.
Maybe we need some legitimate pit lane rules in the regulations.
Yeah.
Start punishing unsafe pit releases.
Release there. Varndell still out on track.
No, only garage box line, Gallon saying.
So Varndell moves into the lead. Pretty sure he'll have to be pitting this lap.
Even Luckhurst was just in the grass.
Swift Warboys getting that forced stop out of the way. Re-enters just under 5 seconds away from Varndell. So an easy reclaim of the lead. And it's going to be costly for time for Ricky Hyde. With that spin in the pits. He was probably completely startled, didn't know where he was. When that happened, you'd be turning in, not expecting anything to happen. And to the next thing, you're being turned around and bangs and screeching going on. That's rather interesting.
Like that old Instagram reel, 1 minute you're on the road looking at the scenery, the next minute you're in the scenery looking at the road.
Yep.
Got a bit of bumping and grinding between Mark Scaife and... Sorry, I don't know who that is. I've just seen the Mark Scaife guy. It's cut away now. I can't find him.
Yeah, that's Greg's car. Pretty sure it's Greg Lenarchik.
GL.
Yeah, GL for you.
I hope he makes it on the podium one race so I can ask him how to pronounce his name. How's Marty Hughes going? I'll look for you, mate.
Marty Hughes currently P25.
Thank you.
Up 8 positions. Currently lap 18.
Yeah, I apologise.
In the
I'm
pits.
not prepared at all for this tonight. I don't have my laptop or anything near me with any of the live timing going. I was late at home because I just had a conversation with the boss saying I'm going to leave, so I had to sort of figure that out first and then get home, smash down a couple of sausages for dinner and then jump on 30 seconds before the race starts. Actually, that's
side by side between Cotterill and Fitz. Fitz holding off at this point. Varndell coming into the pits now. Warboys reclaims race lead on lap 20. Oh, side by side. I think a little bit of rubbing going on between Peacock and Bradbury.
The top three shaping up to be Blake Warboys, Ricky Hyde and Tim Mulford, our previous champion. With this league, are you allowed to carry the number 1 if you're a champion of a series, or do you just stick with the number that you're given when you join?
Yeah, just stick with the number when they join.
Fair call. How many Pelicans can you count? I feel like I'm missing something there. Sorry, Gallon. I'm a bit outside of that inside joke.
It's just the PER car's got the Pelican on them.
Ah. Copy. Ooh. There's a spin for who am I looking at? The black and gold car. Not showing me his name.
That was Blake Fitz. He was up battling it. It's a little bit of a mistake.
Peacock sliding in the background of my screen.
Thanks for the follow. So a few gaps starting to close in here. Battles on multiple fronts the last quarter of the race. And all drivers getting their forced pits out of the way. So if their pit stop went as planned, they shouldn't need to have to stop again.
What was the fuel cap, did you say? It was
47%. 47. So they should be able to push out to about 25 minutes worth of fuel.
Yeah. So it looks like on my screen there are a lot of long times, but I reckon that's just the old trusty overlay doing its job wrong.
And looks
Or
like
maybe
there's
that's time spent in pit lane.
yeah, a couple of longer pit stops. Pit lane time, minute 19 for Stephen Banks. Otherwise, the full time down pit lane has been an average of about 40 to 45 seconds. And even Stephen Luckhurst, a minute 5 total journey time to the box. 52.7 seconds for Banks. So it's an unsafe entry or not for them and being held 15 seconds. But they will have to be cautious of any drive-through penalties as well. Once they reach 17 incident points, they'll be coming for a drive-through.
It's definitely easy to do at this track, can confirm.
Yes,
like
very
I say, I've
much
driven
so.
it once, I've got a lot of drive-throughs.
Especially with 33 cars on a track like this.
Yeah, 100%. Got a little track map up on my screen at the moment. The entire thing is just littered with little green dots showing cars, so there's not actually a clear gap for people, which is what Blake Warboys is finding at the moment, picking his way through a bit of lap traffic.
And then while they're competing as well,
Peacock just went off.
carried a fair bit of speed down there. Runoff was the better option there. Look like Harry Dodds is going for a pass. There's also a couple of drivers filling up behind here.
Looks like we're starting to get the rest of the top 10 find their way through lap traffic at the moment. We just saw most of the field making their way past GL, our old friend Greg Scaife. It looks like up to P7 has gotten past them at the moment, but they've got a lot of cars in front of them in that pack to go past. I thought there were a lot of cars because my entire relative was blue. It turns out there's 3. So, don't listen to that last call. Still more than what they'd like to go past, though, I can tell you that much. Banks had to go and answer the
coming into
phone.
the pits. And Cotterill did get a stop done earlier as well. It's having to come back in. So whether that's a potential drive-through penalty, I think.
Unless you stop way too early.
It doesn't look like a box stop time.
That sucks. Interesting thing is, does he push it? No, he doesn't. He's
Ooh,
safe. He's got the exit right.
Banks was off track. Only briefly, but it drops some spots. Some other drivers making their journey into the pits again as well. Could be a few. We got 5 minutes left on the clock. Blake Lawboys leading by 22.5 seconds. And the rest of our top 10 is then Ricky Hyde, Tim Mumford, Harry Dodds with a pushing Sebastian Vandel behind.
How many spots did you say he was up? Sebastian Vandel, he's up to P5 now. Where did he start?
Currently 24. Just heard a car's engine blow.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was. Vandel going for a move and pulls it off. Bit of a lock up in the background for, is that Kurt? Kurt Heath going off track.
I think that did look like that. The change around. Oh, and then Vandel straight into the pits.
I wonder if he got
now P7, so we've got Vizima at P5, Schroeder up P6. Clifton's just moved up. And then we got Jason Schooler and Blake Urquhart in the top 10, but with Vandel in the pits. That's going to see Stephen Banks move up.
I'm willing to bet that one was incident point violation, because it looked like both sides of his front bar were dented a bit at least, so that would be 8 points plus any off tracks that you get around here, which is a lot. He's been pushing, so it wouldn't surprise me. Where's he come out there? Sebastian Vandel out behind Blake Urquhart, his former teammate in 11th.
There's potential for a fair few incident points out there. There's majority of the field has had contact registered against them on my incident detection. Warboys, Mulford, Schooler, Bunt, Dewell, Urquhart, Nancaro, Koenig, Simmons. That's a bit odd, but not picking up car-to-car contact between them.
I don't think there was any.
And Michael
Simmons,
Schroeder as well.
Simmons just gassed it up pretty early. Oh, it might have been a little bit at the exit, but he just gassed it up and got a tank slapper on him. Dave Simmons just had a quick spin then. Not a quick spin, he lost a fair chunk of time, but...
Oh, door to door. That was Vandel and Urquhart. Vandel the inside of Urquhart. And it was a big contact reaction between the two. With Urquhart firing off to the side. Oh, and he's just missed that corner as well. Lock up coming down.
Wonder if that means damage or just...
Yes, I think it may be. Thanks for the cheer, Stubbs.
There's a quick update on Jimmy
that car's
Peacock.
not looking real good for Urquhart. It doesn't seem to be handling too well.
That sucks. He was looking strong too. Didn't look like huge contact, especially for these cars. These are pretty robust.
Yeah, really fired it out.
The GT3s are pretty fragile, but that looked like nothing compared to what I have seen that people have gotten away with. That is.
I wonder if a little bit of netcode was making it seem worse than it was.
Yeah, possibly. Hard to tell, isn't it? Just one of those things. That's virtual motor racing.
Yeah.
Especially in Australia, where our internet connection is.
And Visma and Dodds.
Amazing.
Door to door throughout those corners. And then finished it up in the hairpin.
Oh, Jimmy's CPU's got a red light on it.
Oh no.
So it wasn't quite packet loss, it was...
Yeah, technical issue. Oh no. Hopefully it can resolve for you. Nothing worse than that.
Yeah, I hear you, Jimmy. This is basically all I do for entertainment as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear about that, man. that's
White
like
flags out. So that's final lap. We reached the 40 minutes now.
Blake Walboy's done a really good job this race. He's controlled it the whole time. Very Van Gisbergen-esque behaviour in this league. He's got 26 second gap over Ricky Hyde in second at the moment. Just controlling it, controlling his pace, controlling his tyres very nicely while also being super quick.
And then making way for all the traffic. Phenomenal drive. And there's checkered flag out for Blake Warboys to take the win of round one of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship. Getting one step closer to potentially be able to make claim on the Next Level Racing HF8 haptic feedback gaming pad. That is another tongue twister. And Ricky Hyde across the line. Finish on the podium, P2. Tim Mulford on the podium, P3. And they've all got a pretty solid gap over the rest of the field too. PP4 coming in nearly, what, 48, 49 seconds behind race lead.
I think
it's a huge gap.
With a lap down, isn't it?
Are we everyone? Yeah, currently. Yeah, I think top 15. As P12 crossing the line. Looks like a recovery there on the last corner for Roberto. Across the line in P13. And that's all the drivers here, so P13, only ones on the current race lap. It's a massive run through the field for Blake Warboys. Congratulations on a solid drive. We'll take a look at those results now. And our race results from round one of the Pagnian Advanced Simulation Supercars Championship at Oschersleben GP. Blake Warboys takes race win. Then on the podium in P2, Ricky Hyde. And then in P3 is Tim Mulford. And then positions through to P18 is then Anthony Visma, Harry Dodds, Michael Schroeder, Mick Lifton, Jason Schooler, Sebastian Varndell, Stephen Banks, Blake Urquhart, Nicholas Martin, Matthew Roberto, Jeff Arnold, Andrew Rushworth, Robbie Bradbury, Blake Fitz and Stephen Koenig. And the rest of the field then going through to P33 on the screen for you now. We'll see if our podium drivers will be keen for a chat.
And good news, Jimmy's computer's working.
Oh yes, very good, Jimmy. That's good to hear. Shame it cuts out like that mid-race as well. We got Ricky Hyde ready for a chat, so we can bring him in for a talk. And congratulations, Ricky. That was a pretty good drive out there.
What happened? Someone's broken something.
You there, Ricky?
Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear.
Yeah, that was an interesting race.
And we got Tim in here as well. Yes, how'd you just find it out on track for the opening round? Is it a little bit tight with all the traffic?
I'm glad I wasn't near the, I think from fifth back, I think there must have been a bit of a, what do you call it, build up, because all the cars got stuck behind them, and then myself, Tim and Stephen, we pushed off and tried to get a bit of a gap, because there's some fast guys in there, Harry Dodds and the likes, they were coming.
Yeah, there's a fair bit. It looked like it was, I think it was Robbie Bradbury at the start, up towards the front end, and then just shot down straight to the back. And Diesel managed to get through it. Did you take any damage in all that mess at the start?
No, I was good. I missed everything. I found a new way to start the car. Apparently, you can't do that old trick with the old hold the brake down and get off the line. I managed to find one. I won't tell anyone my trick, but I managed to get from 5th to 2nd, so it worked. So I'll keep doing that.
Yeah. I'll have to squeeze your arm, twist your arm sometime then, Ricky, to get that out of you.
Are you
But no,
talking about
thank
the
you.
line locker trick by any chance?
Nah, it's something different now because that's not working no more.
Oh, you joke? I thought you were talking like the
It's not the anti-stall or
clutch
the
one.
handbrake. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you can't use line locker anymore.
Well, it didn't work every time I tried it, so I tried something new. I've been playing around, and I found something, and 5th to 2nd, well, it worked this time. Let's see if I can do it next week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I bet you bound a button the second brake, didn't you?
Sorry?
I bet you bound a button the second brake, didn't you?
No trick. I promise, it's all footwork. But hey, I'll do it one time. But you watch next week. You guys are going to call me out now, and I'll be spinning to the back. I'll guarantee it.
Yeah, the camera will be on you for race start. Look out.
I'll be watching your pedals.
And congratulations, Tim.
I'll put the mic on. Cheers, boys. Hey, good to be back. Yeah, it was an interesting race.
You had a good run in the end, and you've got a fair gap between yous in the end, so Blake was able to charge off well and truly, but for yourselves as well, like you had a 15-second gap and
I reckon,
then
I
another
don't know about
17
that.
seconds of Isma at the end.
I think Tim and I, if we had 2 more laps, we probably would have caught Blake. But we'll probably never know.
Yeah, I say that a lot to myself too. Don't worry.
We can get away with it. No one's going to deny it at this point in time. So
No, that's it. He's not here to defend it, so
no, it was good. Made a couple of little mistakes because I've had about a week and a bit off the sim team doing night shifts. So jumped on tonight before the session and did a little bit of practice here and yeah, made a few mistakes, but thankfully Ricky decided to do some circle work in the pit stop, so that helped me catch up.
Oh, that was nice of you.
yeah, we did
was-
see that.
it was
What
my
was the go
It was my
there?
It's so apparently,
The car didn't ghost.
yeah, the cars. So when you get within 5 pit stops of your pit stop, the car ghosts. But the car that was in there must have been damaged because it was going slow. So I tried to go around the outside, and then once I was pretty much beside my pit stop, I went, "Cool, I'll go over." He didn't disappear.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
Mr. Gallen on stream saying you only ghost now when you're actually in your pit garage lines. So you're gonna cop a
Yeah,
lot of
it's gonna
unsafe
be-
re-entries if you're in the wrong spot,
Yeah, very interesting.
especially when
that
you get to
car-
Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But it would have been okay. But that car was, I don't know what it was doing. It was going slow through the pit lane. Must have had damage. I was just trying to give it some space, but no. And then he drove off and off he went. And yeah, I think Tim come up behind me and placed into my pit stop.
Yeah, and then they'll be coming in as a defending Supercars champion too, Tim. So a series to defend here. Lose Tim.
Good talk.
I can speak on his behalf. Yes, nah, the honour.
Oh, there we
Honour
go.
to
Hell's
defend
up.
again.
That's
See,
working.
I've had a week off the sim and I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was good while it lasted, but apparently the little teammate is considering jumping in as well, so he's just going to ruin it for everyone, I think.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can have another good run like you did that series, and it'll be good to be able to see us fight it out over another 10 rounds in the V8 Supercars. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I think we should just give him a penalty and make him he's not allowed to qualify any race that he races in, and that way the rest of us can have a crack at it.
Yeah, do some sandbagging to slow him down a bit.
Yeah, so, but no, it should be good. Even with him there, that'll help a couple other guys, and, you know, it's always good when you got battles up the front and throughout the entire field.
Yeah, definitely. And there should be a another tight one next week as well. A few faster sections compared to Oschersleben with Virginia International Raceway, but still pretty tight out there for track limits and track space to try and get those qualifying times in and some clean passing as well. Is there any plans you've got to sort of go into round 2 with, especially now you've bagged a podium for the opening round?
I plan on doing some more practice, but yeah, I'm happy if you want to call the season now. We'll just call it as is, hand out the prizes.
Yeah, Virginia's
So you're
a
only
tough
planning
track.
on practicing, not winning?
Well, it depends on what happens with the practice. But
Yeah.
no, VAR is a pretty good track. This one I haven't raced here for a long time, so when it's a track you're not normally racing at, it's a bit hard to just come in and switch on. But it should be good. And like I said, throughout the season, there's a couple of good tracks in the season, so it'll be nice.
Yeah, it'll be good, and especially with the Bathurst 1000 in line with Bathurst for our round as well. So it's going to be a fair few drivers well practiced for that week. So it's going to be an especially exciting round for that one.
Yep, agreed.
Definitely should be good.
I'm going to have to apologise now because I won't actually be here to commentate on that one.
You'll be at the actual thing, will you?
I'll be out there. I won't be commentating, unfortunately. I'd like to be talking rubbish with other people, but it's a shame because Bathurst is the track that I know the best. So I could tell you exactly where everything is and be bang on with it. I bet I could get everyone's name right at that track. But
Just pre-record some of the standard lines, and we can chuck them in there on the stream and just make it look like you're there.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it is.
We'll just soundboard you.
I reckon you can do it.
they're both in the fence. They're all in the fence.
Yeah, but congratulations, guys. It was great seeing you out there in the V8, and look forward to seeing you again for round 2. I look forward to that race start, Ricky.
Appreciate it, thank you. Yes, no, I'm gonna.
You'll be practicing all
ruin
week now. Yeah, well
Alright,
done,
thanks,
guys.
No, cheers, boys. It's good to be back. Good series as always. So yeah, well done.
Cheers.
Thanks for putting on a show.
No worries, boys. We'll try and do a bit better next week.
And thank you again, Ryan, for jumping back in the commentary box with me. Great to have someone to chat to. And
Yeah,
looks like
no,
we're going to
thank
be in for a good 10 rounds of racing to witness. So look forward to
Yeah,
seeing you there,
100%.
except for when I'm extremely jealous of you being at the race yourself.
Well, you should come down, bring a computer so we can have our own booth. Then we
that
can
would
talk
be
in real
great.
time and be watching the same thing.
That would be great. Thanks, Ryan. We'll catch you next week.
Right, sounds fantastic. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
There we have our chat with podium finishers Ricky Hyde in P2 and Tim Mulford in P3, and Blake Warboys being our race winner for the opening round and having a solid drive with a huge 26.8 gap on the board at the end. Then we will be back again next week, and then we'll be hitting Virginia International Raceway in the full course layout for round 2. So we'll be back again live at 7:35 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to see your favourite drivers get back out on the track and do it in those V8 supercars. So don't miss that. If you haven't hit follow yet, do so you can be notified when we go live. It'd be great to see us climb to that 400 milestone of followers on Twitch as well. And you can check out all our results and standings as they come over the next week on our socials on Facebook. And then you can check out past broadcasts over on our YouTube channel as well. So do check out those details. And we will be back again next week. And thank you for tuning in, but also a big thank you to our sponsors and partners. That's Pagnian Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing, Dubby, Fanatec, Stump Grinding, Central Coast, Razor, and Chubby Buns Burgers. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and see you next week.